Alright boys and girls, and welcome back to another building video. This time I'm bringing you all a super simple but very efficient trio base. The main progression on this build starts off with an easy starter, and then from there 3 early game towers spring up, providing windmill spots for the electricians, high up respawns looking down on the base for early game defense, and the potential to roof camp your neighbors very early into wipe. Now Spinky, can it take a pounding? Yes indeed boys, yes indeed. With a wonderful bunker to your core, honeycombing surrounded by all of your loot rooms, and the ability to retake any floor from advantageous positions. Overall, the night is the peak of simplicity combined with efficiency. You don't have to be a master builder to build this one, but you only need a pair of eyes to see how good it is. If you like building and you're looking to improve, my Discord is a wonderful place to be. We've got multiple great builders including me to answer any questions that you may have, an extensive moderator team, and if it's my building style that you like and you don't want your base layout to be visible on YouTube, then you can open a ticket and look into getting your own custom base design for your own personal use. Cheers lads, let's go on with the tour. Alright, starting off with the tour of the night, we have a 3TC 3-sided symmetrical base. Our externals are free-handed bunkers, which allows you to store some extra stuff in here, along with the TC. And those furnaces just help you stand inside without falling in. We disconnect from the main base side, building out with 3 squares, and then following that up with a little ramp. And that breaks our little disconnect here. And then it's as simple as just adding the frame back to reconnect everything up. Now we got a little word from to that one boys. Now we're outside one of our 3 gatehouses. It's airlocked, and we have a little window to check outside too. We've got some nice Patrico angles into the compound, and we do plug the top half of the embrasure as we're solely looking through the bottom half. And the reason that we use a roof ramp to block that is that the turret will get more downward angles from above here. So it's all very smart and very cool, and of course you can fit a small box there too. Around the front of the gatehouse we have a base pitch section with a quick shoot to our shooting floor from compound, which is super handy. This is a furnace funnel where we use a large furnace to make sure people cannot get through. Ideally, they're going to pop those high walls as that's the cheapest path, and then they're going to be met with the option to either ladder over, which is pretty inconvenient and easy for online base owners to defend from, or they're going to have to break that furnace for 5 rockets. And while they're doing that, you've got some pretty nasty angles to play off here, and a turret that's tucked pretty far back too. Hopefully could be missed by MLRS and raiders until the last minute. The rest of the compound is symmetrical by 3, so we have 6 turrets in this compound, 3 shoots up, lots of spots for deployables, and 6 beds. We have 1 main entrance into the base, and that comes through here with a single door airlock. And that immediately takes us to our second floor. And our first floor is of course bunkered, so it keeps the base nice and strong. Second floor's got a lot of loot space up here, and a little retake as well, so you can see what's going on and of course watch the front door too. The drop down is bunkered, as I said before, which is super handy. Nice easy little bunker to add in here. If you're on console, unfortunately the stair bunker is not going to work here, but the door path pretty much makes up for it, so you don't need to deep it too hard. Down below there's lots of loot space through here, spot for our workbench, bags for the whole gang, furnaces and anything else that you may need. That's our main TC upkeep over here, and it's tucked away as far as possible to the longest door path. Really good for early game and such. And then that's the stair bunker tech. You're going to keep that on a twig triangle, and you make sure you have a deployable jump up, or else it's going to break our bunker there. But that's the stair bunker, super simple, and it's available to use really early on into the build. Jumping up the 3rd floor, we have a retake on the drop down, and that is a one-way. Not a good angle for people who are dropping down into that. It's not going to be a fun time. 3rd floor is all about the bedrooms, so we got some beds for the whole gang, and of course this airlocks up as we open the doors. So you can play off of these bedrooms, giving you a little bit of defendability on this floor. Jumping up one more time, we're on shooting floor level. We have some more one-way retakes, which is super handy for anybody that's top-downing through the door path, or if anybody's just running about out there, you're going to catch them off. Opening up some of these doors so you get a rough idea of what's going on. We've got a 360-degree shooting floor here that is segregated, which makes sure we can't lose any of it at once, and stops any tall raid bases from taking over the whole floor. From there we got some heli peaks looking above, some retakes from the roof. You can see where that ladder hatch meets up, and then we can exit out into roof on one of our 3 sides. This meets up with the tower that's useful in the beginning. You can see that one-way angle there. And when the doors are open here, we get a lot of retakes up to roof. We got one ways to head through into our little extended shooting floor up on roof. And even from the towers there, you have angles back into shooting floor as well. So hopefully you'll have beds above and beyond the raiders' paths, so you can come behind them and take them down, and hopefully win potential online raids. 3 turrets cover the roof really nicely, and they are not easy to HV from above, which is super important. So if you don't have any SAM sites and minis are going about up here with some HVs, not going to be easy to take out for them at all. The rest of the roof has got some pretty good coverage. We can utilize the shooting floor angles from above, which is pretty unexpected, and we even mimic the same angles up above, giving us some retakes back in towards the base, and a pretty sneaky one down here as well. Super handy stuff. And if we head out that single door, it's going to take us either out of compound or into compound without taking any fall damage, which is super nice. Hopefully you boys and girls think this base is a banger. I certainly do. We'll go ahead and break down the costs for you guys now. First of all, on screen is the total build cost. Second up is that build cost in box amounts. And lastly is the total upkeep spread between 4 TCs, and the main TC is holding the majority of that upkeep. Hopefully you guys are impressed with the house and you want to learn how to build it. And I'll go ahead and break that down for you now. Alright, let's get started with the tutorial. We're going to kick it off with 2 triangles to claim your build spot. That's all we need to get our TC down. Get a window in front, single door on that. Little door. That's your build spot claimed. Once you're ready to continue, we turn that footprint into an egg with a little build out like so. Going to try and take this as slow as possible so that everybody can make the base. Want it to be easy to follow tutorial. Is what we're striving for. Over here, we're doing double half wall for the stair bunker. If you're building this base on console, you can leave that out. Obviously, you're not going to get the stair bunker in there. Then we have a loot room over to the left here. Door frames in between everything and a ceiling on top. Gotta remember to make your jump up with deployables here. If you do a triangle there, then the stair is going to latch on to the other shelf and never break. So we're jumping up with strictly furnaces, hobo barrel, anything like that. But the stair bunker is ready to go super early into the build, so even close this up just when you're going out for a roam day 1. Keep the house safe and break it later. Then from there we can jump up. Don't forget a half wall low wall here for the retake into 2nd floor. And that seals with a double door, leaving a frame above to make sure we can go to 3rd floor. I'll upgrade that to metal so that you no longer need to worry about it. And we're onto the 3-sided symmetry now, doing a short build out here from the 2 triangle section of the egg footprint. This is so that we can rush our external TCs and our towers as well. So this is a little build out that we do for our tower. We'll get the peaks at the bottom and then we'll raise it up to the top. And of course we'll need a TC to keep the privilege on this. Windows on the left and right, frame in the middle because we have a turret back there later on. And you get your ramps in, and ideally those are going to be brutalist. If you don't have the DLC, it's not a massive deal. It's still a good angle. Despite that, you'll just need to use the horizontal embrasure instead. Around the back we need a square here, and we're going to match it to the same height of the rest of the breach peak. And later on we'll have a turret in here, some chain link in front. Make sure you give yourself a little shelf in there for the turret to sit on, and then from there you can seal that up. To place the chain link, you'll need to split the roofs. Then from there we're going to build out with 4 squares and we'll add our external TC. This one I'm setting up here is going to be a free-handed TC, but if that's something that you usually struggle with, you can just do a normal external with no free-handed bunker and just let garage doors be the raid cost on that. But this is how I like to do my externals. You can keep those soft side for now so you have more room to freehand, and we're looking to clip that square into one side but not the other, while leaving a decently small gap. You don't need to get it on the first try, don't worry. Once we've done that, we turn the square underneath to a triangle so that we have space for a disconnect. And then once we've done that, we cover up that last top gap with a frame, and that also links it back towards the main base. Don't forget to get a TC in here as well, of course. And then depending on what angle you're in, sometimes that frame wants to place from above and sometimes it wants to be from below, but it is placeable, don't worry. You'll need a short build out just to keep that up for now. And that's our externals done and dusted, all 3 of them. Of course, you'll need to do that on 2 remaining sides. But once you're ready to continue, we'll raise the frames up too tall for our tower. Above our tower, we have the spot for the turret, remember? And then above that, we have the spot for the windmill. The windmill is cased in low walls purely for style points, so if you're low in materials, you don't really need to worry about that. I just think it looks cool. So that's my reasoning on that. You get a little frame in front, make sure there's room for that with the chain link in front of the turret. Of course, you won't need the turret just now, it's not really covering anything, but I've gone ahead and placed it for you. Next, I believe it makes sense to raise up the second floor, give us some more height on the main base, some more space for loot rooms, meaning the fact that the second floor is all loot space. So we'll add in those loot rooms now. We got 2 triangle loot rooms and a square loot room, and then just frames are spammed throughout the rest of this floor. And we've already built our jump up, remember, and it's directly above the drop down. Upgrade that ultimetal and we'll disregard it now. We're doing a short build out here for the palisade peaks. So we still keep that honeycombing whilst getting a nice shooting floor angle. Pretty nice, pretty nice. That's the shape we're looking for. Those foundations are not technically touching. I'll let you know when everything's linked up. If you need to stop at one point, it's not safe to stop yet, just to be crystal clear. But once these half walls go down, now we've got things linked up. Technically the gatehouse part is not connected yet, we do need one more foundation down there, but I didn't place it yet. But build your full gatehouse here and I'll let you know when that part's connected too, just to be crystal clear. There we go. Need that foundation in there. Perfect. Now everything's connected, there'll be no decaying over there. And then we do that on the opposite side as well. Perfect, perfect. Low walls underneath, half heights going through for the angles. Raise it up a half height for a turret. And remember, we do roofs to cover our Patrigos, and that's going to give the turret more downward angles. There we go, there we go. Couple of embrasures in, get your beds in there too, spam it up with doors, get the turret on top and you're chilling. Furnace is going to go in the corner there in between everything. Really push that in as far in as you can. And you can do the high walls first as well, keep that in mind. Whatever order things come to you first, go for that. And then it's a 2 high wall seal, starting from the gatehouse side. And we're making slightly lower than a 90-degree angle with these high walls here. Good old high wall update, love that one. Perfect for the build servers. There we go. And it's the same on the opposite side, and you can do high walls before furnace, just to be clear. But of course, always practice this stuff on a build server beforehand. And if the terrain's getting in the way, and you're missing a furnace, it's not a big deal. These things happen on real wipes, so don't deep it too hard. We do low walls here so no one can sneak past the barricades. Allows our placement here to be a little bit more lazy, and keeps us with just 2 barricades on there. Then a single barricade there too. Not a lot of blades to seal up this compound, to be fair, it's pretty good. And from there we still have the 3-sided sim on, we're raising up our 3 chutes over here. Then on the opposite side we are honeycombing. And we'll take the symmetry off when we go down the middle. Because of course we have 2 sides that are honeycombing and we have 1 side that's there, look here. The last 2 are just pure walls going all the way up. Alright, once you've done that you can raise some frames up. Match it off with a half height. So we got everything working, looking nice. Brings it up to the right level. In front here we raise that up, we give it a floor frame. And that's going to hold up our shooting floor peaks here. Do a half wall low wall so we can mimic the angle from above on roof. Just like that. We'll start by facing our... Around the back of these angles you can place in double half wall with a window there. And then make sure you don't seal it at the top. We're going to mimic that angle that's down below, so we can utilize the peaks a second time on roof. Now if we face our original jump up, not the chute, and work from there, still with a 3-sided sim on, we have the angle there for the one-way, frames in the middle, frames leading out towards that ladder head chute, and then finally a half wall with a single door on top. And you can add a ceiling on top of this entire section, and we'll start building out towards our jump up for roof. Raise it through like that, and then we'll float a couple of triangles here. give a half wall with a triangle on there. And then once your embrasure's in, that becomes a one-way, which is super clean. And then you can add a couple floors on top to seal in that part in front of the tower and keep our turret on the right angles. Rotate everything up so there's no soft sides facing the wrong way. And then still with three-sided sim, we're going to build the little external towers on roof that mimic the shooting floor angles. Give ourselves a single door there so we can drop down into compound if we need, and then seal this entire portion up. Once you've done that, there's not much more left to do. We add a couple of extra roof tiles up here for roof camping, and then a little centerpiece in the middle there, and that's pretty much the base done and dusted. Hopefully you boys and girls enjoyed this video. If you did, then please feel free to leave me a like and drop me a comment down below. These vids take a hot minute to make, and of course the bases do too. Remember to check out the Discord down below if you need any help whatsoever, or if you want to cop a custom. I'll see you boys and girls in the next one. See you in a bit.